We're the Con Guys, and this is the Con Guys Show, coming to you straight from the nerdy heart of Hollywood, California.
And this is Jim with theconguy.com.
She's been here with theconguy.com.
Katie here, aka the Con Girl.
Zordon did not want 5 teenagers with attitude.
My name is Derek Sam.
I'm Danae Sams, and that's my brother.
We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comicons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things con.
Welcome to the Con Guy Show. My name is Jim. I am one of the Con Guys.
You sure about that? My name is
Jim?
Yeah.
Question mark?
It's crazy. I'm going without a script tonight, guys. Without a script.
No.
Like we are ever really scripted. All I know is my mom says that when she watches the show, my head is always covered up by, she goes,
Your
that
head.
eyeball thing. I'm like, Mom, that's the one viewer we have. Oh, we got 2. So I'm not going to knock it. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the Con Guy Show this week. We got a lot coming to you. My name is Jim. You can find me at James D. Fry on Instagram. But who else do we have with us tonight up here with me?
Oh, wow. We're doing Instagrams at the beginning. Things are changing. She's been here with the Con Guy and my socials there at Cheese on Couch.
This is what happens when you go off script. Sorry.
Yeah.
Katie.
And open wine bottles like on the show.
I know.
It's me, Katie _Christine, the solo con girl tonight, the OG con girl, bringing in the female representation today. And I told Ben I was going to make a joke and put Katie, Christine, the con girl, and then put Taylor's version for anybody who's following what's going on in the world right now. But it would have looked really, like, the whole screen would have been filled. So, it is what it is. So.
Is that new lighting?
No,
What?
it just changes colors.
Okay. Looks nice.
Yeah, I can
Katie
just
has
change
nice
the color.
lighting.
And it's red because red, Taylor's version, came out. So,
There you go.
Can you tell me what you're talking about?
Taylor
I'm
Swift.
so lost.
It's just Taylor Swift stuff. It was just a joke.
Oh, okay.
T Swift.
Yeah.
Ben.
all right. Hey, everybody. It's me, old buddy Ben, with the Con Guy, with that #show.com, which is our host network. And again, thank you so much to everybody over at THS. Of course, brought to you by our main sponsor, Neft Vodka, reminding you to please drink responsibly, as well as Toink.com. I was just on Toink.com today because my wife and I got a new dog. We still have the old dog. The old dog is still very old, but we got a new dog who is very new. And so I was looking up stuff, and they've got a bunch of dog stuff on Toink.com, including Mandalorian dog stuff, dog toys, leashes, harnesses, collars, etc., etc. So that was cool. So go check that out. And I'm super stoked to be here. You can find me on social media at BENKLIEWER. Also look at the hashtag BK421 because I use that in as many of my posts as I remember. Blood good. Got blood good, everyone. What a name. What a name.
What
Blood
name?
good. That's why I have to yell it every time she logs in. Yeah, I was going to say something else. Now I can't remember. Anyway, Twitter and Instagram, that's what I do. I think I've got a Facebook page that's like my personality Facebook page is separate from my personal one. And does anybody use those anymore? I don't know.
Actors.
But you have
I have a second Instagram too, and I don't really use it either.
And we can talk about it later on, but you have a cool event. Wait, did it pass already?
No, it's this coming weekend.
Yeah, that's so cool.
My production company, Jasmine Street Films, we are starting our live event wing of our company this weekend. So our live event planning wing is called JSF Presents. And so this weekend, we're starting with our very first live event. It's called JSF Presents Backyard Shenanigans. It is actually at my home in our backyard. It is an indie stand-up comedy show. And so you can reach out. You can hit me up. Actually, hit me up on social media, on Instagram or Twitter for details if you are living in the Los Angeles area, or you will be here on Saturday, November 20th. It is $10 cash or Venmo at the door. An extra $5 gets you a wristband. The wristband gets you access to our open bar, which will be tended by Barmaster Derek. Not Derek from the show, a different Derek.
Because he would make the worst drinks possible if it was that Derek. I just want you to know.
Not con guy Derek. This is a different Derek, and he runs a company called Ello and Ollie. That is a cocktail company, and he makes incredible cocktails. We are having 6 comedians go up. Let me pull up all the names because I'm gonna forget somebody, and that would suck.
I know one of them.
Me.
Yeah.
Is that who you were gonna say?
Yeah.
And while you're pulling that up, I'm gonna plug in my microphone. Can you guys tell me if I have destroyed all possibility? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Let me see if it's on. Yes, it is.
Okay, so Backyard Shenanigans is a night of comedy and burlesque. We will be having 6 comics going up. Alex Ramirez, Jessica Rosas, Daniel Zambrano, Josue Hernandez, Jen Sturger, and myself. We will also have 2 burlesque acts by the incomparable burlesque performer Gwen Ruby, and an opening, a bit of opening music by Nick Jail. And again, it is $10 cash or Venmo at the door. Another $5 with a valid ID gets you a wristband, which gets you access to our open bar. Vaccination status will be confirmed at the door. Doors are at 7. Show starts, live music is at 7:15. Show will start around 7:35-ish, and then it'll go until late. So it should be a good time. Again, hit me up on social media at BENKLIEWER, Twitter and Instagram. If you're going to be in the LA area, you're interested in coming to the show, because I'm not going to announce my address on the con guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy enough.
But it should be a fun show. It should be a good time. And looking forward to it.
We have a great show tonight. I know Ben has some stuff hashtag wise to talk to us about LA Comicon. Katie, I can't wait to hear about your weekend surprise movie screening, which I'm going to ask you about here in a second. That kind of rolls up into one of the things we're going to talk about. But this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about Disney Plus had their big Disney Plus day this past week, and they made a lot of announcements. They had a lot of stuff came out, a lot of previews came out. We'll just kind of briefly go over that because, wow, there's a lot of stuff happening. After that, we, of course, are jumping into what is left. That sounds. We're going to jump into a little bit of San Diego Comic-Con Special Edition or Comic-Con Special Edition and talk about there are a number of things happening away from the convention center, which is kind of cool. Offsites and parties and weird, crazy stuff. And then, of course, the bulk of our show, we're going to talk about LA Comic-Con, which is coming up exactly 2 weeks after San Diego Comic-Con special event. It's so crazy. They're so close together. And, of course, that hashtag show is the official media sponsor. We're really excited about that. Ben's going to tell us about that once we get there. But first, it's a tale of 2 cities, LA and San Diego. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. And then here's how it goes. It was the best of times, the worst of times, the age of wisdom, the age of foolishness, blah, 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 blah. It was the epic of incredulity. It was the season of light, a season of darkness, and the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. Is that where we're at, guys? We are about to enter our season of hope because the 2 biggest conventions on the West Coast seem to be trying their best to have in-person events this year. One of them is Thanksgiving weekend. That's Comic-Con Special Edition. 2 weeks later, 2 cities,
1
2
week.
weeks.
1
1
week.
week. They're 1 week apart.
Boy,
Yeah.
Jim can't count at all. And all the social
'cause
media I
next
put out
weekend-
tonight.
Because
It's
next
this
weekend
many,
is
Jim.
special
This
edition,
many.
and then the week after that is LA Comic Con.
Wow, they're so close.
Very close.
And I got to tell you, LA Comic-Con is bringing it this year. I'm so impressed with their lineup, but we'll get to that in just a second. First, there is, let me switch back over here. Ben kind of filled us in last week on the poster that dropped for Spider-Man No Way Home. But did you guys hear the big announcement?
Yeah.
Came out today.
Yeah.
What is it, Katie?
The final trailer drops tomorrow.
Yes, that is
and they're
right.
actually having a a screening of it in theaters with fans. I saw it on Twitter. I wanted to enter. I unfortunately have other plans tomorrow night, or otherwise you can bet I would have tried to get into that screening and got in that little bit of Comicon type feel and vibe where you're the first to see the trailer. But on the other hand, I am so excited about this movie, but I also don't need to know anything else about it. Like, I just want to be surprised at this point, if that makes sense. I don't want the whole movie or more to be spoiled. If that makes any sense at all. Like, obviously I have my hopes and dreams, but I also know that Marvel likes to be like,
Yeah, they're
like,
a bit
Doctor
secret.
Strange is in it. I don't want to spoil anything, but Doctor Strange is in Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know. What? All right. But also, do we really believe that, like, I, like, also feel like Marvel, to be smart, would be like, let's film a couple different things so even Tom Holland doesn't know how the movie ends. But
I think that's probably what they did.
Yeah. Like, he
So
doesn't
here's
know.
the deal.
He thinks he knows.
Have you seen the whole campaign of Tom Holland trying to convince everybody? I promise. So and so and so and so are not in this movie. The other two Spider-Men one from the Sam Raimi universe.
Well, they've been asking Andrew Garfield too, because
I'm just forgetting their names, right?
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
That's right. But I haven't
Andrew
had a single
Garfield,
drink, guys.
Andrew Garfield is on a press tour for some of his other projects that are going on too, and so people keep trying to ask him about it, and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "I no, I'm not in the movie."
Really? What did Tobey Maguire say?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything about
How
it.
old is Tobey Maguire now? He's almost my age, right?
He lives under the ocean somewhere in a mysterious bubble.
I love
Jim, we
it.
should do Tale of Two Spider-Mans.
It's the Tale of Two Spider. If they're both in, it'll be the Tale of Three Spider-Men, I guess. But I just love the way that Tom Holland, he has to try to convince his fans that he's telling the truth because nobody believes him because he's so bad at this stuff. Anyways, that is tomorrow. We'll have some reactions to that. But there's also something else that happened last week that's huge. Disney Plus Day. And I don't know, it got some good reviews from some. Some people were like, is that it? But I'm going to go through a list of some of the stuff that came out. You guys tell me what you think about this. If something that you're going to grab on and watch, let me know. So on Disney Plus Day, they announced the Spiderwick Chronicles. Do you guys know anything about that?
It's a book series.
Yeah, it's a book series.
Used to be movies too.
Do you know about this book series, Katie?
I've heard of it. I just haven't actually read it.
It's another one of those young adult, AKA Harry Potter type stuff.
All right, they made another movie a while ago, didn't they?
Say that. I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that, Luke?
Nothing to do with Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man Chronicles. Oh,
they're going to confuse us.
Chronicles.
What about Baymax?
Dude, I am here for Baymax.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about this.
I love Baymax.
A Baymax series, which is very cool. I mean, they already had like the series, but it was like 2D animation, right? So this could be the 3D, right? So this could be cool. And we've all seen the trailer for Hawkeye, the new.
I'm weird. I am like more excited about Hawkeye than I think most people are. Like some people were excited about Loki, some were about Falcon and Winter. I've been waiting for Hawkeye's moment, like waiting, because he's the only OG Avenger that didn't get a movie. So like, I'm just like,
damn, they didn't even kill him off before they let him have it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Be careful what you wish. This might be his kill off moment. You never know.
But yeah, I'm super excited for that.
I like the feel of this one. It feels like a Shane Black movie. Like Luke, you keep on talking about that, right?
Yeah, like totally with the trailer and stuff. Kind of like the whole buddy thing and the Christmas and the banter. It feels a lot kind of like a Shane Black kind of comedy and timing. Kind of, he did Iron Man 3 as well, which had a little of the Shane Black kind of thing, especially towards the end.
Mm-hmm. So this next couple, like we actually did get some footage. The very first footage we saw from Moon Knight, which we got the first look at Moon Knight, a new globetrotting action adventure series starring Oscar Isaac as a complex vigilante who has multiple personalities, and some of those personalities have superpowers, and they're fighting the ancient gods of Egypt. That's a bizarre setting, but straight from the brilliant minds of Marvel. This also stars Vera Farmiga, one of my favorite all-time actresses, and she's going to be in this series.
So
I'm
good.
really excited about this.
I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's
I
got
love
some footage
anything-
that was released.
There's
I love
there's a
anything
little bit of
Egyptian
footage.
gods and all that. I love it.
Very little, yeah.
No, Moon Knight I admit it's a character I don't know a lot about. Of course, when I heard that they were going to do a Disney Plus series about it, I was like, okay, I should probably read a little bit about it. But yeah, I mean, basically what you said, Jim, he's got multiple personalities. There's Egyptian gods involved, and I'm like, okay, I'm down. He was the thing is, I was reading a lot of stuff online where it's like, clearly this is one of those characters that was kind of inspired by Batman, you know. He's kind of in the darkness and kind of spooky and but you know what, I'm here for it, you know. They do this all the time across comics, you know, like this character, you know, there's Deathstroke inspired Deadpool so much. Deadpool was like a lampoon of Deathstroke from DC Comics.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, because Deathstroke is named Slade Wilson and Deadpool is Wade Wilson. I mean, it's so they do this all the time. So you know, you can't really say, oh, Moon Knight is a ripoff of Batman. He was a character inspired by Batman, the same kind of darkness, the same kind of intrigue like that. But I'm looking forward to it. Oscar Isaac is awesome.
Yeah.
I love watching him in anything he's in. He's very talented. And for him to get a run as a Marvel character is going to be a lot of fun, especially when it's one of these characters that has multiple personalities that's in the same vein as something like Orphan Black, where Tatiana Maslany played multiple different clones of the same person. So she got to stretch her acting muscles or really flex her acting muscles in playing a bunch of different characters. I feel like this might be along those same lines. Speaking of Tatiana Maslany,
I see what you did there. That was clever.
See what I did there?
I was like, did anybody else catch that? Ben just said.
I thought that was one of the smoothest transitions.
So are you saying Oscar Isaac's character may play multiple personalities and all that?
Oh yeah,
Have you seen him play like a range with actors so far? Like it seems like he's kind of his same kind of personality in some ways in the stuff I've seen him in. But I mean, he's an actor. I'm sure he does have range. Yeah. Have you seen him and stuff where he's acted differently?
The Coen Brothers movie. What was that one? The something Llewellyn.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a different character in that.
The thing is, you know, a lot of times when an actor blows up and gets huge, like Oscar Isaac has now, you know, you see a lot of the big tentpole stuff that he does. He plays a very similar character across those because that's what's making the big bucks, and that's what people are like. Oh, Oscar Isaac, I know exactly what I'm getting with that. But yeah, no, he's incredibly talented. He can do. I don't know any of the characters you've talked about before. Who the hell is Hawk's Eye?
Says Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan. Profound ignorance. Anyway,
but he's excited about Hawkeye.
But yeah, no, I have full confidence in Oscar Isaac playing multiple personalities in the same character. I'm super stoked to see it. Yeah.
What do you know about She-Hulk?
Essentially, all I know is what we saw in the trailer, which we had an appearance by Bruce Banner in the trailer, kind of showing her the ropes of how to be a Hulk, which was interesting. And another thing, so he was Smart Hulk in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
But then we saw him at the end of Shang-Chi, and he was Bruce Banner again. So I'm trying to figure out when these timelines are, if he's permanently Smart Hulk or if he still changes back and forth. I'm not sure. I can't remember if in the comics, once he turns into Smart Hulk, he just stays that way or not. But
is Shang-Chi actually after the snap? Did they establish that?
Yes,
they did. Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
And then we got a kind of a cool pan up or tilt up of She-Hulk kind of from behind as she's kind of standing up, and it was this dramatic kind of tilt. Didn't see her face, but she is wearing the classic purple and white kind of uniform from the comics, which I'm really stoked to see a lot more of the comic book inspired costumes coming into play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. Because really, when they introduced it 13 years ago, coming up on 14 years ago with the first Iron Man movie, they had to keep it somewhat grounded. And it's so great and so well known and so popular now, they can really get into some of that weirder stuff. Hence, getting more Moon Knight, or getting Moon Knight, and getting, you know, more expansion. I mean, classic Loki as one of the variants in the Loki series was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Well, something cool about She-Hulk that I think comic book fans are going to really appreciate is that it's being written. I found out just last week, it's being written by comic book writers, actually, instead of just Hollywood writers. I was able to interview Cody Zigler this last week because he's currently writing Amazing Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's celebrating its 60th anniversary this next year. But that's his second job. His first job into town, he was brought into town to write She-Hulk. And because he's such a comic book nerd, I'm like, are you kidding me? Your very first job in town is writing a series for Marvel. I'm a little bit jealous about that. But Luke, guess who his buddy is that he is working with on? Luke, you know another comic book writer that you interviewed one time on camera, and he also writes for Robot Chicken.
Was it Zeb Wells?
Yeah, Zeb Wells. Yeah, so Zeb's
We're not getting names good tonight.
Well, it's all right. Zeb Wells, he joined the She-Hulk. Both of them wrote on Robot Chicken. Both of them writing on She-Hulk, and now they're both writing Spider-Man. I think that's the best thing ever. Comic book writers who are. There
it is.
And that's all we saw. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there's the comic. There we go.
All right.
So, of course, obviously, that live action costume very reminiscent of the comic book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is
Reminiscent, but still not like tacky.
Yeah, because let's be honest,
Not saying that comic book costumes are tacky, but they look a lot
they
different.
are. Let's be honest, they were written to get us 12-year-old boys hooked. That's what they were written for back in the day.
But also, a drawing of a superhero's clothing is a lot different than seeing an actual filmed costume.
This is true. By the way, Jonathan says Tatiana Gabriel was a doctor in Parks and Rec, and well, I might as well put this up. And leaves for Rwanda. Then we don't hear about her again. She clearly becomes She-Hulk, then making She-Hulk in the Parks and Rec universe, also with Chris Pratt getting suddenly fit and disappearing to London. It's all coming together now.
It's all Parks and Rec related.
All right, after She-Hulk, this one's very exciting, because especially for representation of Middle East characters. Ms. Marvel, starring Kamala Khan, and we actually did see a little bit of this. What do you guys know about this particular series? Well, I
was going to wait for Katie to jump in, but I can jump in because
I don't know anything.
Much. You don't know anything. Well, so Ms. Marvel was there's been a number of Captain Marvel involved characters over the course of Marvel Comics for decades. So Miss Marvel was a character that's been introduced most recently. Kamala Khan is a teenager. She's, I believe, Pakistani American.
Correct.
She's a 16-year-old. She lives in New Jersey. And she was a character that was introduced in the comic books in the last decade, I believe. Mm-hmm. And it was one of these things where
very cool.
There she is. It was one of these things where they introduced this character because there was a group of women and Islamic women and female writers that were behind the creative push behind this book, and they put it out there because they just wanted to get this character out there, and then she took off. And Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, became one of the most popular characters selling in Marvel Comics. So it only makes sense that they would bring this. And I think they're really tapping into a thing now, and they're figuring out, hey, we can take what we do with the Marvel movies and expand those stories more with these Disney Plus series. And they're chasing Netflix, Disney Plus is. And so essentially, like Netflix right now, they're essentially just printing money. So they can afford to make these kind of longer versions of a Marvel movie. And I think that's what people are craving. We don't want to necessarily watch a 24 episode season, but an 8 to 10 episode season or a 13 episode season of a show.
A comic book.
It's like reading a comic book. It's like reading an arc in a comic series. So, but yeah, and it's great because she is a Muslim character, which I mean, we haven't really seen that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and especially, you know, we're getting into just a lot of different types of characters, and I'm stoked. I'm here for it.
I am too. What is the Disney Plus series that came on last year? It took you behind the scenes of like making High School Musical, and then one of the episodes was going behind the scenes with the female writers of Marvel Comics and how they're, and because you get a really in-depth look at Ms. Marvel during that episode.
Are you talking about like the Assembled show?
No, it's one that it was about different parts of the Disney.
Yeah,
Empire.
And I'm trying to think. I watched that episode, which
and I was just now trying to find the name of it. If I can find the name,
remember.
It's like I don't know something.
I've watched so many of these shows on Disney Plus because I watched a day.
I have to say, Disney Plus has some amazing stuff if you just look at it. I mean, especially if you're a big Disney fan, there's stuff about the Disney parks for the 50th anniversary of Disney World. There's all this stuff that they dropped, and if you like documentaries, if you like, I mean, they also have National Geographic. They also have too. So even if you like all
Chris
that
Hemsworth
stuff,
has a new National Geographic show coming out called Limitless.
That thing looks insane.
Did you see what he's doing? Like being suspended above giant miles above the canyon floor and stuff?
Well, and I'm trying to figure out because they're like, oh, we're trying to do all this so that you have longevity and you can live longer and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, that kind of stuff makes me think he's not going to live longer.
He's going to die with one of these.
That's going to make him live shorter. If he doesn't die doing one of those things, he'll just die from the stress. I don't like.
Of course, the preview had like 6 or 7 different activities he was doing, and 5 of the 6 of them he was shirtless in all of them. So we know who the target audience is for the show. It works.
Hey, I'll watch
me.
He did a Shark Week thing too.
Yeah, he did.
So,
Chris Hemsworth is so fit. It goes beyond any kind of like sexual attraction to just everybody's like, he's a Greek god. We must look at him. Like, I don't care if you're attracted to men or not. You want to look at Chris Hemsworth shirtless.
So I'm going to skim through these last few here. Behind the Attraction. That was it. I think that was it. Yeah, that might have been by Chris Jacobson. So listen, they have these series coming out. Echo, which she's going to be introduced in the new Hawkeye series. Echo's really cool. She can mimic the fighting style of anyone she is combating against, which is cool. Ironheart, who is a young African-American woman who I think she's only like 14 years old. She's basically, she inherits, from what I understand, she makes her own like quote unquote Iron Man.
Yeah, it's like an Iron Man
suit.
Tech, yeah.
And I guess in the comics, a Iron Man voice was what was guiding her. So wouldn't it be great if Robert Downey comes back to be the voice of Iron Man? That would be a cool way for him to kind of sort of come back. Secret Invasion. Now, Ben, have you read any of the Secret Invasion comics? I have not. I've read about them, but they sound pretty amazing.
I've touched on it a little bit. It's an incredibly involved storyline, and it has to do with a lot of Skrulls showing up. And as if you know or not, Skrulls can chameleon into other people, basically. And if you watched if you watched the Captain Marvel movie, you saw that. Ben Mendelsohn played I can't remember what his name is. Is it on here?
Talos.
Yeah. So that, you know, they can shapeshift into other people. So it has to do, I think in the comics, there was a lot of like smoke screen and misdirection is like, this guy is this guy, but he's not really this guy. He's a Skrull, and she's not really her. She's a Skrull, but this guy is actually this guy. He's not a Skrull, but she is. And, you know, so, but again, I did not do a comprehensive reading of the Secret Invasion. I touched on it a little bit and I was like, this is too complicated. I'm going back to something else. But it was really cool. And the Skrulls are great characters. Ben Mendelsohn's great. Sam Jackson's awesome. I'm looking forward to Secret Invasion. You also skipped over Agatha, House of Harkness.
Yeah, I was going to say we're not getting a season 2 of WandaVision, but we are still getting more WandaVision adjacent stuff.
And if you ask me, Catherine Hahn deserves this. if you go back and look at her career, she has been, she started off with that whole Judd Apatow crew, at least in the more, out there where we would have seen her. But she's been doing this for 20 plus years in the film industry.
She's
and
hilarious.
and she still looked good, by the way. She still looked good. And and she deserves to get her own show. The Agatha character that she played she took her own Catherine Hahn style that she has perfected and applied it to this character, and it just works. It just fits. Nobody deserves this more than she does to get her own show of this caliber and this level. So I'm just super stoked to see. I'm super stoked to watch it because I love Catherine Hahn.
So this next one.
Yeah, what do you think, Katie? Tell us about the next couple.
I am so upset that and they announced it last year for next year. It's still not here. So we don't have any. I don't know if there's any holiday specials on Disney Plus for this year, but next year they're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they did the Lego holiday special this year, and
for Halloween. We're talking about Christmas.
I'm thinking last year. I'm sorry.
Last year, yeah.
Last year, the Lego one, where it was the Life
Star
Day.
Wars Lego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A better version of Life Day than the 70s version.
Yeah, but they're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and it's written and directed by James Gunn, and so I think that's going to be fun. People love, and then adjacent to that is the show I Am Groot, which is going to be coming out, which is original shorts about baby Groot's journey.
Oh no.
Which, who's not going to like that? I mean,
are these live action?
Yeah.
That one's they're animated. The What If Groot is I think it's animated, is it not?
Well, Groot's animated, I think.
Yeah, it just says original shorts, so maybe it's live action, but I don't know for sure.
The Guardians one is live action.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just
from what I understand,
they're filming
it. They're filming it right now because the cast is assembled, or they just finished filming it because they're filming Guardians 3 right now.
3, yeah.
So I think they just filmed that, and right before that, they filmed their. There's a brand new roller coaster at Walt Disney World called Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which opens this year. That they filmed the cast with all their inside the roller coaster parts. So they've been filming a lot of stuff.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is kind of a great Marvel thing to tie into the holidays because it has that quirkiness and bizarreness that would work for you to do a standalone holiday special. Not that it'll be a standalone. We don't know. It could go straight into the third one. We don't know yet. But I'm excited about it. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, and I that was the one that we all thought was not going to be a good movie, and then look what it did. So, and James Gunn is great. But also, someone else can talk about the one after that, but I'm going to talk about What If, though, because what a show. I am so excited for season 2. And I believe What If is the first Marvel season 2 that's officially been announced, right? Because Loki haven't officially announced it, even though it's on IMDb and stuff. So
Loki.
But I don't know if they they did officially announce it. I forgot at the end of the season they officially announced it. So second show that was officially announced for season 2. There's so much you can tell. There's a lot more story to tell, and I think in the teaser they had Wolverine, right? In the announcement, didn't they have Wolverine in the picture?
For season 2, did they really? No. Wolverine's a different show. They're coming back with a show.
I thought it was also What If. I saw a thing that said What If and it had Wolverine on it.
Hey, Luke, can you look that up and see if that's right? Because
I could be wrong.
No, but if you're right, that's amazing if he's going to be in that because they've kind of stuck to the MCU stars in season 1. There's one particular episode of What If, though, that is going to be its own series. Did you guys see that? Marvel Zombies?
Oh, yeah, Marvel Zombies.
That's interesting. I guess. That was maybe one of my least favorite of the What Ifs.
I liked it.
It was so dark.
It is, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Well, it'd be interesting to see because I feel like Zombies is kind of past its time. It's that's not really what people like anymore. So I'm curious to see what Marvel does with it.
Did you find it, Luke?
Nah.
I think, Katie, what you might be thinking.
X-Men 97.
X-Men 97, yeah. Marvel's doing an X-Men series based on the 90s timeline of the X-Men animated series, which was hugely popular.
As a
Maybe might be right,
37-year-old
though.
man.
Say that again?
As a 37-year-old man, and Luke can probably join me on this, this blows my mind and makes me excited. All the blood left my body, ran around the world, and then came back. I'm so excited for more X-Men animated series from the 90s. Even the theme song.
Yeah.
I unfortunately didn't really get to watch it growing up. I think I wasn't allowed or something. I don't know why I didn't get to watch X-Men, but I'm excited now. I can be current on what the new one's coming out.
There you go,
and then feel like one of the cool kids finally.
Is X-Men the animated series currently on Disney Plus?
Yeah, because there was a whole thing about they cut all the episodes when it first released. All the episodes were in random order, and so like if there were continuations, like that was one of the big complaints right after Disney Plus released, and then there was something they cut something out of an episode, and I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of big deal on the internet. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this before, but sometimes people on the internet will make a big deal out of things.
What? You don't say.
No.
Really?
No.
And then
They
multiple
would never
people will just argue about it.
Yeah.
On the internet?
Well, no, I was just curious because, if they are releasing this new X-Men 97,
Wait a second.
it would be nice if they...
Marvel's What If teaser features a black four-clawed Wolverine. If that's true, that's the first time that the X-Men have been brought into the MCU.
Yes, exactly. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I saw something.
Well, you still might be crazy, but you're not wrong here.
Yeah.
I am Katie, thank you for noticing that, because I did not notice that.
Yeah, because I went, oh my gosh, the X-Men in a Marvel thing. Like, it's not separate. And I, lost it. And I just, so...
It says the new artwork features a Wolverine character standing on a cosmic background with the what if wording at the top.
Yeah.
Their skin tone is brown, and instead of having 3 claws like Logan or 2 like Laura Kinney, this Wolverine has 4 claws. I'm reading comicbook.com//Marvel. So they're pretty reliable.
Well, and it's what I'm also seeing here is they're saying this might be a mashup of Wolverine and Miles Morales.
That's what it looks like. Look at that. Yeah.
Because the color scheme definitely, it's red and black. It definitely appears that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But it could be
which would also be the first Miles Morales MCU appearance. Because Into the Spider-Verse was technically still Sony.
Yeah.
And like Tom Holland says, there is no Miles Morales in the next movie. Yeah, right, Tom.
Okay.
All right. So let's finish it real quick. Go ahead, Ben.
We should blast through the rest of these because we still got to talk about San Diego and LA.
Yeah. So Ben and Katie, I think you as well. There's something really exciting coming up from Lucasfilm that they kind of gave us a little bit of a look. What was that?
Willow.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Well, that too.
Willow.
I was thinking Obi-Wan or Kenobi, so
they're both great.
No, I'm super stoked about Obi-Wan. No, the Willow thing, I've been following the Obi-Wan stuff, so I'm like, okay, this is what we deserve. But Willow, and I kind of knew they were doing more Willow, but just to see the whole thing with Warwick Davis, and he was interviewing the young cast, and then you're like, oh, Warwick Davis has some comedy chops on him. Because he did this whole snarky, sarcastic interview with the young cast members, and it was so good. And then, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Of course, we didn't get any footage from either of these shows. We just had interviews and maybe
because they're both next year. Yeah.
But
of course, there's the Under the Helmet, the Legacy of Boba Fett, a celebration of Boba Fett.
And then they announced the release date for the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
As well, which is December 17th?
No,
I think it's the same day as think it's the same day as The Witcher season 2, but
So that is like a taste of what's to come. And if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you see the Simpsons Plus Anniversary short. It's only 5 minutes long, but skewers
they showed one of those in front of the Disney special screening, Disney Plus surprise screening.
Okay, I was about to say, lastly but not leastly of the Disney Plus day and weekend, they had 200 special screenings of Star Wars movies across the country. Where you go, you don't know what you're going to see. And Katie went. Oh, Katie, what did you see?
So no shade at this movie. I love this movie. I was very upset though. It was Rogue One. That was a surprise screening. Don't get me wrong. I love Rogue One. I saw it in theaters. I think it's fantastic. But I have already seen it in theaters, so I was really hoping it would be an original trilogy one, or at least like one of the ones I hadn't seen in theaters. But it was Rogue One, but you know, it was fun. I went. It was $5, but if you had A-list like me, it was free. You got a free poster, which was a Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett exclusive Disney Plus poster. It was like this big. But it was fun. And then they had
Did you
the
go
little
to the screening that Ryan was in?
Yeah. Friend of the con guy.
Was
Ryan.
he excited?
I'm pretty sure he had that same mask on.
This is Ryan. I think this has something to. Yep, there you go.
That was for the release of Mandalorian season 2.
Yes.
So
Boba Fett comes out December 29, right
29.
before the.
Okay. So a week after The Witcher. All right. But yeah, so and it was fun. I mean, like I said, we all kind of expected it wasn't going to be an original trilogy one because that's pre-Disney owning Star Wars and all that. But we could still have hoped. But they did show a little short.
Oh. They did what?
They showed the little Maggie Simpson short for it.
That's cool.
It was weird because they showed like 2 trailers, and then they had like the preliminary movie theater stuff, you know, and then they did that short, so they had less trailers.
I just kind of think that Disney's more invested in the movies that are the Disney version of the Star Wars.
No, I get that. It's just it was a bummer still. And then they also did surprise screening for Pixar and Disney. The Disney one was The Rocketeer, and the Pixar one was Monsters Inc. So
that's cool.
You love me some Rocketeer.
Yeah,
it was a Disney. It was a surprise Disney classic movie screening, and then a Pixar surprise Pixar screening. So.
All right, that's all we got for that. Thank you so much, guys. For those of you being patient and you want to hear about San Diego Comic-Con Special Edition and LA Comic-Con, we are jumping in right now. First, let's go over the San Diego Comic-Con Special Edition. We will end the show with LA Comic-Con. Last week, we did a special show where we actually last week we actually did a show where we kind of went over a little bit of kind of the panels and whatnot that you can expect. But the one thing we did not talk about was the possibility. Hey, Luke, can you handle the branding thing? One thing we did not talk about was the possibility of offsites or things happening outside the convention center. And there are some cool things happening outside the convention center, which is interesting. But there's also some things inside that we got to talk about real quick. Badges are still on sale. $150 for a 3-day, or the junior and veterans is $75, right? Am I right on that, Katie? Yes. And
sure,
Katie,
I'm looking at this, so yeah, that's what it says.
Did you see how they're doing the exclusives wristbands this year?
I just saw that. I hadn't seen it. I heard that it was different than what they normally do, and it's changed throughout the years when there's signings, when there's exclusives. Like, you know, I think 5 years or so, you would go up into the upstairs
sales pavilion.
It's called sales pavilion. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you would wait in line early, get in line, draw a ticket, and if you were lucky, you got a wristband to that booth, that exclusive, that signing. But this year they are doing. I'm just going to read this because I will totally. It's interesting to me. And the nerd side of me is like, all right. Comic-Con Special Edition will feature some amazing exhibitor exclusives, and as always, the popular Funko exclusives will be available only through our new on-site wristbanding process. In the exhibit hall, we will have designated tables where wristbands will be distributed, and this is on the floor, which is not usually what they do. Will be randomly distributed by Comic-Con Special Edition staff using our Cubes of Deciding.
That's brand new and that's weird.
Cubes of Deciding. That name, whoever decided that name is both. I feel like people are going to be so mad and upset, but it's still going to be. It's a great name.
Yep.
If the cube is generous, if the cube is generous, the participating attendee will receive a randomly selected time slot so that they can purchase exclusive merchandise from the exhibitor. If not, then the attendee can get back in the line as many times as they like until they are selected or they run out of wristbands. If you aren't selected, you can come back the next day and try again. The lines for the wristband giveaways are located in Hall A. The Cubes of Deciding will open and wristband distribution will begin when the exhibit hall opens each morning.
That's just so different. Is that like a little mechanical box?
I don't know. I really hope see, the nerd in me pictures it as like, in all the movies where someone sticks their hand in the wall and then something grabs their hand and eats it.
Rips the hand off.
I know that you wouldn't be able to do that because of a post-COVID situation, but how funny would that be if they're you have to stick your hand in this box and you don't know what's going to happen when you pull your hand out?
There's a garbage disposal inside.
And then, how many people would still try it, but I mean, I think that is kind of how it worked before when they did them in the sales pavilion. Hypothetically, you could get back in line and draw again. But usually at Comicon, those lines are so long, you can't get back in before they run out of tickets. But with something like SE, it may be more possible.
Yep. Do you have to say something, Luke?
I think they should do it like the Jimmy Kimmel episode where they had someone reach in and do either tarantulas or tequila shots.
Tarantulas or tequila
and then
shots.
they could film it as well, get some Scare Jim moments out of it.
Tarantulas or tequila shots. Hey, Ben, did you see the film festival stuff?
Yeah, the Comicon Film Festival. In addition to in-person schedule of films, the films department for SDCC has expanded into the virtual world, and you can chat along with other viewers in watch parties at home through the Scener Google Chrome extension running concurrently with Comicon Special Edition. You can look for the online schedule at the at-home events. Yeah.
It's kind of cool. They do, and it's not. I got rid of the click below because that doesn't apply quite so well. But it's kind of, they have holiday movies, nerd movies, Buck Rogers in the 25th century, nostalgic. It's a cool lineup of films. It's not the normal Comicon Film Festival, but it's just a really cool lineup of films. And real quick, the shuttle system is different this year. There are no hotel shuttles. I have a feeling it's because most people are able to get hotels close enough to the convention center this year where you can just walk it's within a mile or two, which is kind of cool. That means there's far fewer people. I'm telling you, this is going to be an interesting convention. We'll see how it goes. But they do have shuttles to something brand new. Katie, do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, the Comicon Museum, which opened, it opened last year, right?
Sort of. It's open and closed, but this is I think this is their official big grand opening.
It's the first actual big thing that's going on. Because it was delayed for multiple reasons due to COVID, etc., things like that. But it's going to be in Balboa. It's in Balboa Park, and it's doing all sorts of exhibits and things that are related to things that Comicon has at their convention, whether it be comic books, whether it be movies. But they're going to have their own programming there. There's a lot of stuff, but there's Ghostbusters, how about celebrating 35 years of Ghostbusters, things like that. Mm-hmm. It is a ticketed thing because it is technically an offsite, and tickets are $19.95 for general standard admissions. There's senior military student and children discounts for ages 4 to 12, and then children age 3 and under are free. Mm-hmm. And it's in Balboa Park, and they're open Friday through Tuesday. Pretty much till 6 o'clock every night except for Sunday, and then they open between 10 and 12 depending on the day, but the hours are up on the website. And it's a fun play. You can also meet some cool fans there. It'll be interesting to see this because, like I said, it's not normally open. I haven't been to it because it wasn't open the last time I was in San Diego, but they have been kind of anticipating the opening of this Comicon Museum for a while now. So
this has been a big priority for them for quite some time. Yeah. So very cool. So that's going to be one of the quote unquote offsites, but also I'll take this next one, the Barry House. And Ben, if you want to take the library after that. So one of the things they have open, one of their newest venues to Comic-Con is the Artist Loft at Berry House. It's located downtown on National Avenue, 1660 National Avenue. They're going to have a lineup of cultural and enrichment and educational aspects, the Comic-Con panels which will be open to the public, with a focus on Latinx culture and contributions to popular arts. The Thursday panels for this location include a long story short, Mexican comic books, and from Mexico to the USA, a bridge, one comic at a time. And these are all free. So just go to the Comic-Con, the Comic-Con site and look for the Artist Loft at Berry House and find this free program. Speaking of free, Ben has some cool stuff too.
Along the same lines of a really cool educational experience, and I know some people will be like, "Oh, educational experience." Educational experiences can actually be really awesome. I think we're all trained to like hate school because that's the cool thing to do, but learning is fun. The San Diego Central Library is hosting the Comic Conference for Educators and Librarians at the San Diego Central Library, returning once more to San Diego Comic-Con. The panels are free, but they do require an advanced sign up through the San Diego Library website. So go to the San Diego Library's website to sign up for these. The full schedule for the library programming is available at their website right now, and the signups are open. And all the panels that are part of the community programming schedule are open to anyone with or without badges to Comic-Con Special Edition. And then the next one, I'm kind of just stoked to talk about the next one because it makes me laugh.
Talk about it, man.
Oh, yeah. It's the Comic-Con Yacht Party. Put your boat shoes on and your captain's hat. I'm sure Jim's got those.
I sure do.
Comic-Con is back in San Diego, and what better way to celebrate after the festivities than to let loose and party on a 90-foot yacht. Whether you're in town for Comic-Con or you live in San Diego, cruising aboard the Cher Ami is an experience unlike any other, in which you can take in the serenity of beautiful San Diego Bay and breathtaking views of the city. Relax in our lounge areas or by the bar, sipping on your choice of cocktail. None of us, of course, at the Con Guy imbibe in alcohol, so we won't be attending. Or you can let loose on our I'm just joking, on our open view dance floor on the upper deck and vibe to the DJ performing while taking in the cool bay breeze and spectacular views of the skyline and Coronado Bridge. You don't want to miss out on the SDCC party we have planned for you guys this year. Dress code. In the spirit of this festival, cosplay and costumes are definitely encouraged, and badges are not required for this event. You can expect complimentary boarding glass of chilled champagne, 2 decks, which include a dance floor, a bar, and lounge area, spectacular views of the downtown skyline, Coronado Bridge Convention Center, and the beauty of the San Diego Bay, a DJ spinning hip-hop house music on the upper deck, /house music on the upper deck. Today's top hits, including hip-hop and pop music played in a speakeasy environment on the lower deck, fully stocked bars serviced by professional and friendly bartenders. Special signature Marvel-themed drinks will be available. VIP bottle and table services. Check-in and boarding time is 9:30 p.m. Cruise time is 10 to 12:30 a.m. Cool. Party on a yacht with a bunch of nerds.
Or
basically,
go ahead,
it
Katie.
kind of sounds like if you never got to go on the IMDb boat at Comic-Con, this is your chance.
This is your chance. And if you're not quite the party person, Katie, what is this next thing that people can do to kind of relax a little bit?
They're having a cat cafe. This is genius. Like, it's genius. There's a cat cafe you can do at Cat Cafe San Diego, where you can obviously enjoy coffee with cats. And it's cats from the rescue house. So it's all rescues and things like that. Located at 302 Island Avenue. Open daily from 8 to 4.
Cheeseman. Oh, so sorry. I think that's the perfect thing to do. Oh, that's such a stupid pun. Stupid pun. I just watched Jungle Cruise on Disney Plus this weekend, and so I had to throw in some nerdy puns. Cheeseman.
Yeah.
Love it. For those who are a little bit hardier in their drinking habits, what else do they have going on?
A Comic-Con pub crawl.
Yep.
It's about time. Calling all zombie superheroes, anime characters alike. Join us as we parade through the gas lamps, strutting our costumes, enjoying laughs and drinks with our friends in a fun atmosphere. Tickets will include drink specials and our tour guide. And a tour guide. And a tour guide. Okay. Keep your hashtag CCSE cosplay on after hours.
This is the fourth annual pub crawl. I didn't know that.
Wow. Pub crawl on Saturday, November 27th, starting at Taste and Thirst in the Gas Lamp. Discount tickets for the guided tour are $7.50 at Gold Star. $7.50.
Yep.
That's not bad.
It used to be, I think, $20, dropped to 10. Now it's $7.50 the closer we get to the convention. And real quick, there's a couple of there's a movie. The Hyatt is showing a lot of holiday movies all day long during November 27th and 28th outside on the lawn. So,
like, where is it? Where the FX area normally is?
Yeah, right there on the lawn. Right there on the lawn. For more information and to get a list of movies, go to rooftopcinemaclub.com. Again, that's
they do stuff here in LA too. That's cool that they're doing that.
It's really cool. And then Chris Kattan is going to be performing November 26th and 27th at the Laugh Factory while we're there. So that is a wrap on San Diego Comic-Con Special Edition. Hotels on sale, tickets on sale. If you ever wanted to get a taste of Comic-Con, this is your chance. But we have one a little bit closer to home for us. And Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit, hashtag show, who is our great partners here on the Con Guy. They're going to be involved in a big way. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So LA Comic-Con. Yes, we've got our own Comic-Con here in Los Angeles, California. And it's been around for a while. It used to be called Stan Lee's Kamikaze. And since then, obviously Stan is no longer with us, rest his soul. And the organization has morphed and evolved a few times to become what is now called Los Angeles Comic-Con, or LACC. That hashtag show is a prime media partner with Los Angeles Comic-Con this year. And we are so stoked over at THS. They are going to have their own stage directly next to the main stage at LA Comic-Con, where they will be doing live interviews with all the main guests of LA Comic-Con. They will also be doing live streams and podcast type live stream shows. They also have a booth that they are sharing with New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is the third largest wrestling promotion in the world.
That's awesome.
I'm not familiar with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but you've got Japan and pro wrestling. I'm sold because that sounds like it's freaking awesome. You can come by that hashtag show booth and get a free t-shirt celebrating the release of Spider-Man No Way Home with a special super secret. They told me what's going to be on the t-shirt. I'm not even going to tell you. It's something Spider-Man related, but it's not. It's a bit unexpected, and I think it's going to be really, really cool. I'm actually a big fan of what they're putting on the t-shirt, so I'm excited about that. In addition to that,
that's cool. That's very cool.
I've got a couple other things that I want to throw out there that are happening at LA Comic-Con. Laugh Factory is also doing a show connected to Los Angeles Comic-Con. And I believe Chris Kattan is hosting this one, but I'm not sure. But Jen Sturger, who will be at my comedy show this weekend, will also be featured on that program. And the other thing that I was going to let you know, a close personal friend of mine named Katie O'Hagan. She is the voice of Mia Winters in Resident Evil Village. They will be doing a panel at LA Comic-Con. It is called... it is Sunday the 5th at 11 a.m. It's called Slicing Stereotypes to Ribbons, Fearsome Female Empowerment with the Ladies of Resident Evil. It's an all-female voiceover and motion capture actors from Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village. Some are being finalized right now, but we definitely know Katie O'Hagan will be there, as well as Paula Rhodes, Andy Norris, and Sarah Coates, with 4 other actresses, TBA. And that's going to be super cool. if you aren't paying any attention to Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil Village, there's a lot of badass females in these franchises. So, of course, Resident Evil has kind of always revolved around a badass female character. So, stoked for that. Katie's a good friend of mine, so I had to throw that out there as well.
Dude, that's so cool. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, we will we'll be linking right over to the coverage that hashtag show will be providing for the weekend. So it's a great thing. We're great partners with them. And wait, look at here. Carrie Lane was on the show in the comments tonight. Yes, I hope. And she may be going down to Comicon with us. So that's awesome to see Carrie there in the comment section.
Half of her comments were just emojis, which is that's pretty Carrie. That's pretty Carrie. Yeah. So Carrie, hotel room still available.
Yeah, we have a few things to talk about real quick. For those of you, Katie asked last week if they would be having a virtual part of LA Comic-Con. I don't think that's a big part of their plans, although I do know that they are going to be taping quite a few of the sessions like they did last year, and they did show them in the weeks following the convention. Not last year, the year before. Last year was more of a virtual thing. So they will be having a number of safety measures to prevent against COVID. You will be going through checkpoints. You need to have either a negative COVID test or have a vaccine. Wait, or is it just a vaccine? Oh, yeah, no, either a test.
It's both. It's either or, sorry.
And if you haven't had your test yet, they'll give you one. You just wait for 15 minutes to get the results. So,
but it's a free test, which is a big thing because
it's a PCR test.
Yeah, a lot of venues. If you're going to a concert, and this is for people who live in Los Angeles, we're very familiar with it right now. If you guys are listening or watching and you're not in Los Angeles, but you're coming to Los Angeles, just letting you know, it's not just Comic-Con that is doing these vaccination requirement things right now. But most venues, like if you go to a concert, they're going to charge you $50, $60, $70 to get a rapid test. LA Comic-Con is doing them for free. And I think that's a good thing for them to be able to do. For those people who are not vaccinated, you guys still have the option to get a test because some places will not allow you to just get a test. So
we encourage you to be vaccinated if you can, because that's the safest way for these conventions to continue. But if not, then they do have testing sites there. Everybody will be wearing masks once you are inside, and we're all used to that by now. So. And they are with over 1.2 million square feet of exhibition space. They're going to have plenty of room for people to spread out. So this is cool. Hey, Katie, why don't you go? There's a lot of guests. We don't need all of them, but
I'm not going to name all of them. I will name.
Yeah, give us some of the top guests that you see that are showing up. Because I'll be honest with you, San Diego Comic-Con usually is where you see all the people.
Yes.
They're all at this one, it seems like this year.
It's the first one in person that they can go to.
There's one guest she really dislikes, though.
She'd
never have a crush on them, ever.
Tell us some of the people we can expect to see.
Zachary Levi, Ming-Na Wen from The Mandalorian and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which you guys know I love Ming-Na Wen, and I think we all love Ming-Na Wen. And she's a huge nerd, so both her and Zach are massive nerds, so it's always a delight to have them in a con circle.
I got them right here.
Giancarlo, it's a great picture. Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito, I think I said his name right this time.
Yeah,
Giancarlo Esposito.
Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul is going to be there. The voice actor of Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants, Roger Bumpus?
Yeah.
Bumpus, right? We also have David Yost from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Tom Welling from Smallville. If y'all don't know who Tom Welling is, I'm sorry. Also, Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. We have Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World. Super random, but I'm super okay with that.
I think it's super cool. That's really cool.
William Daniels as well, who's obviously Mr. Feeney from, right? Mr. Feeney. That's Mr. Feeney.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought. All right. From Boy Meets World as well, and Will Friedle from Boy Meets World. Also, John Barrowman, very, very popular amongst the crowd, the Comic-Con crowd. Also,
Casper Van Dien as well. John Barrowman and Casper Van Dien. Whole lot of sexy man right there.
There's also going along with. I'm just going to mention it
the
real
bartender
quick.
and conman.
While I'm mentioning the actors who are here, there is panels that most of those people are on.
But I do want to mention one that I got excited about. There's a Boy Meets World panel. Like, there's a Boy Meets World panel. I don't know how this happened, but I'm totally okay with it. Because I love Boy Meets World. I actually have to watch one episode every single Halloween. It's a tradition. But yeah, they're gonna have a panel with Wilfred L. William Daniels and Ryder Strong for a chat about the series, and I'm sold.
And I think one big one that you didn't mention that I'm glad you didn't, because now I get to say it. Nichelle Nichols, the original from Star Trek. I believe, if I understand correctly, this will be the last live convention appearance that Nichelle Nichols will be making. She is suffering from some health problems, but she's still going to be out there and doing her con thing one last time. And she's gone to a lot of these things. Yeah. She shows up to the Doctor Who convention in LA because it's kind of a Doctor Who and then also like sci-fi stuff convention too. Like there's more sci-fi stuff and they all have some connection to Doctor Who, but Nichelle Nichols, just a pioneering actress in science fiction and pop culture. First interracial kiss on television. Looking forward to that. So I really want to go up. I've never met her before, so I really want to go up and meet her and just tell her thank you for everything that she's done, because it will be her last live appearance.
Yeah, and what's cool is she is headlining. They're calling it the Star Trek Experience. They're planning on having, I think they said, around 20 actors who have been on various iterations of Star Trek over the years. So this is a big deal. This is a big thing. They're also having the 6th annual Cosplay National Championship. I think they just, I may be wrong. I might be thinking San Diego. I think they just closed up. Yeah, they closed up just this past week for Masquerade. I don't know if this one is still open though. I'd have to look.
Usually this is something. Usually the cosplay competitions you submit before a pretty far in advance. But also they're having one of the unique things about LA Comicon too is they have a lot more experiences than Comicon does on the floor. They're doing an entire West Hall expansion that's dedicated to the ever-growing e-gaming, esports, anime franchises and fandoms and stuff. So there's going to be all sorts of places to watch e-gaming. I can't read all of this, but basically 147,000 square feet of space is going to be dedicated to esports gaming and anime, which is great because you have a little bit more of a specific fan experience, because you do have the fans who are going to be more leaning towards that content, and then you'll have the fans that are, oh, I want to be in the Star Trek thing, or I want to do this, and it's kind of nice that they're catering to different fan bases.
Yeah. Hey, Luke, did you see, I know we're kind of covering this stuff really fast. Is there anything on there that you see that caught your attention? Well, I mean, there is one thing that I was kind of super stoked about. Like, they're actually doing a main stage presentation on Mandalorian. That's where we're going to see Ming-Na and Giancarlo Esposito. I'm surprised Lucasfilm is doing a panel on the Mandalorian. They didn't do anything at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019, 2020. So this is kind of cool that they're doing this. I know that Ming-Na, she loves this stuff. She's such a fan. And I can't wait to see her in Book of Boba Fett. That's going to be so great. So, Cheeseman, do you see anything on there that might catch your interest?
Well, I think it's cool they're doing a Frank Miller panel. You know, he did Sin City and all that, and then they're getting Gerard Way, who's the lead singer of My Chemical Romance and, you know, creator of Umbrella Academy. So he's a musician that moved over into the comic sphere as well as, you know, continuing as a musician. But it's really cool that, you know, Frank Miller of 300, The Dark Knight Returns, give me Liberty, Ronin, as I mentioned before, Sin City. So that'll be main stage Saturday, December 4th.
And did you see?
Go ahead.
What were you going to say, Ben? You go first.
Well, I was going to say, if I may, I can just do a quick rundown of all these panels that we've got listed here. So
I would love that.
Some of the main stage panels. This is just a selection, including but not limited to SpongeBob SquarePants, featuring the Tom Kenny, who is SpongeBob, and Roger Bumpass. Roger Bumpass. And they'll talk about the show, Boy Meets World panel, Smallville panel. We, of course, already talked about Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling. being there. Mandalorian, we mentioned Mighty Morphin Power Rangers panel. That's going to include Jason David Frank, who was the Green Ranger, Tommy, David Yost, who was the Blue Ranger. Two of my favorites. David Yost, my wife has interviewed him before, and he's just a delight. Well, she's interviewed Jason David Frank too, and he's really super nice too. My Hero Academia, which I'm not familiar with, but I know Katie is.
Also, Carrie knows a thing or two about My Hero Academia, and if you guys, first of all, you should follow her on TikTok. She has some amazing content on TikTok. She actually did an interview with English cast members around
with
Halloween.
Who?
Their Halloween characters that they would portray. So you should definitely check that out if you don't follow Carrie on TikTok. Which Carrie, I cannot remember if it was Carrie D Lane on TikTok. So if you're still
It's Carrie D Lane. Well, look her up on Twitter, and you can take Carrie D Lane on Twitter, and it'll get you over there.
And because we didn't have the big anime, there is another anime convention directly after LA Comicon, so you will get more anime content there. But it's nice to see that we are getting some more content from anime because we have had a lot of canceled conventions. So.
Yep.
And then one of the spotlight interviews, we already mentioned Gerard Way interviews Frank Miller, but Bruce Campbell, he's on our cover image. We haven't mentioned Bruce yet.
That's huge. He's a Bruce Campbell spotlight. I love that. He doesn't do tons of these.
And of course, Evil Dead franchise. He was in Burn Notice. I liked Burn Notice.
I loved him in Burn Notice. He was so great.
He's been in so much stuff. He's just a classic kind of cult, nerdy pop culture actor, and super entertaining. Of course, another spotlight interview with Zach Levi, going to be huge this year. Used to live in LA, now he lives in Texas. Anyway,
Texas.
Texas.
Also coming out with a movie on Christmas Day.
What movie?
Yeah, he's coming out with a sports epic about Kurt Warner playing for the Rams and winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm stoked about that. I love sports movies. They're all exactly the same, and I love watching every single one of them.
And they always make me cry, but
Luke, what were you gonna say?
I just said I agree. I like sports movies.
Oh yeah.
Rudy.
And check out one of the masters of comic book art. Rob Liefeld's going to be there. Deadpool, New Mutants, Youngblood. I was thinking Blood Good.
Blood Good.
He's going to be there, which is kind of cool. Donnie Cates, who did Venom, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Doctor Strange. Ryan Stegman, Uncanny Avengers, Amazing Spider-Man, Wolverine, and so many more. So we're pretty packed. We are pretty packed.
It's going to be insane.
It's some good stuff.
It's gonna be awesome.
Usually LA Comic-Con is not known for being great content-wise. It kind of gets a lot of heat for that. But it sounds like they have a pretty good lineup going for them, so I'm excited for it. You're welcome,
Thanks.
Carrie.
You're welcome. And then MHAF. Katie, what's that mean?
My Hero Academia for the win.
Okay. Katie has to translate shorts talk to me. I mean, it's like
I speak Carrie. It's all good.
All right. And we're going to finish up with this. There is a very cool after party, which is happening this year. And it is from a friend of the show. Let me go here. I have the pictures here. The after party is it's called LA Comic-Con After Party, The Slime Ball. And of course, the theme this year is Ghostbusters, the new movie coming out. After 2 years, Los Angeles Comic-Con is back, and so is the best convention after party in the country. That might be an oversell, but we'll see. No. These guys do great. Bernie and the XLE Productions, they do great. They do some parties down at San Diego Comic-Con as well. This one's going to be held. I had the location. Anyways, dress your best spooky chic or simply roll in your cosplay from the convention floor. It's all going to be themed after Ghostbusters. The Flux Capacitors will be there, which is awesome. One of our favorite 80s bands. They've been at the forefront of combining fandom with live music and live musica, and are a staple in Los Angeles pop culture. They've written a song that will be featured in Sony's Ghostbusters. I didn't know that. So did you know that, Luke? The Flux Capacitors wrote a song that's going to be in the new Ghostbusters movie. That's pretty cool.
Not movie. Wow. He did not read the rest of the thing. It's
video game.
The video game accompanying the release.
Okay, Jim needs better reading skills.
He literally made the run sheet, but you know.
I know. Be the first to hear the new song featured on the trailer live. There's going to be multiple rooms, multiple bars. That's She-Hulk. So anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be held at Catch One, Los Angeles. It's an all ages event with a lot of alcohol. That surprises me. It's an all ages event, but okay. Doors open at 8 p.m. And for any information, you can go to tell you what, we're going to put that on our website. It's the LA Comic-Con after party. The slime ball is also on their page, and we'll be tweeting that out. So that is the official after party. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. LA Comic-Con is coming up soon. San Diego Comic-Con is coming up even sooner. Any closing thoughts? Oh, wait. Who is this, Ben?
Oh, this is Kylie.
Kylie. Hi,
Kylie. By the way, Ben, when Kylie appeared on screen, I literally touched the screen where she was, trying to pet her. I know that I can't actually pet her. But...
She's so old.
Anyway,
so little and cute.
So, guys, be following us and be following Ben. He's probably going to have a little bit better insight into what that hashtag show has planned for LA Comic-Con. We'll try to keep everybody up to speed. You can follow us here on our Instagram, which is The Con Guy. Nothing's working for me today. We're at theconguy.com. Instagram is there. You can follow us on Twitter at theconguy.com. You can follow me at Jim Fry LA on Twitter and James D. Fry on what's the other one? Instagram. Cheeseman, where can people find you before my mind goes off?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at cheeseoncouch and also on theconguy.com. And you can find my beard probably on Ben's face next week because we always trade beards and clean shaven. So you're up next, Ben.
Gotcha. I had to shave because I was Zool.
And I am KT, aka Katie _Christine, across all social medias, including TikTok and Twitch. Have not been very active on Twitch lately, but I'm hoping to get back at it soon. But life and all that stuff. You can also find me usually tweeting random things about what I'm watching and my random thoughts. I tweet way too much, but if you like random tweets,
no such thing.
And yeah, just as usual, just be good to each other. There's a lot of hate going on in the world, and there's a lot of people being mean to people for no reason. Please be nice to each other. If you go places that have certain requirements, don't yell at the people who work there. They're just doing their job. And that's all I want to say.
And Katie, what are you doing Thursday night that you might actually tweet about?
I am seeing Ghostbusters.
Yes, and so we're going to see it with you. Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
Yes. So.
All right, Ben, take us out of here.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching the show tonight. Thanks again to that hashtag show for hosting us. And thanks to our sponsors, Neft Vodka, reminding you to please drink responsibly, as well as toink.com with all sorts of cool stuff. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at BENKLIEWER, or you can search the hashtag BK421. I attach that to most of my posts. This is my oldest daughter, Kylie. She's 15 and a half years old. She has 3,000 diseases, is stone deaf, and has dementia. And
you got her on an evil petting zoo.
And an evil petting zoo. And remember, everybody, I'm drinking out of this red cup because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Be good to one another.
Good night. Thanks for listening to The Con Guy Show, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now on sci-fi.radio, Saturdays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, both AM and PM. That's 9 o'clock Greenwich. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi.